there have been some giant snake sightings out there in the world that will make you want to stay inside for the rest of your life. You see, in 2016, a terrifying snake that was 33 feet long and weighed over 800 pounds was found lurking in caves near a dam construction site in Brazil. Like, just imagine heading into work and seeing that. I fear I would pass out due to the fear. Now, this snake was discovered by the workers after they carried out a controlled explosion in the cave of Almeria in the northern state of Para. Now, video footage taken by one of the crew pans down the snake's enormous body, which measures 3 feet in diameter. Now, after finding this creature, the workers chained the animal to the crane and later lifted it up. It's claimed that the builders hurt the snake rather than leave it in its natural habitat, but that has not been confirmed. Regardless, it seems like the workers didn't know the snake was there when they started to work, and when they did find it, they chained it up to protect themselves from the giant beast, which I can't blame them for, because it appears that snake could do some serious damage. Then in 2017, a giant snake was spotted by a security guard in Indonesia. Security guard Robert Nabadan encountered the snake on a palm oil plantation road. Now, unlike other people who would just walk away from the snake, like I would, he tried to catch the snake. Now, it had attacked him and they fought until Robert ended its life. Yes, surprisingly, he won the battle against the 26-foot long snake. Now, honestly, that is impressive. He did walk away with some serious injuries though, but he kept his community safe. Afterwards, the snake was then strung up for display at a village before it was chopped up, fried, and eaten. Robert told an Indonesian news outlet, "I tried to catch it, my hand was bitten, and I managed to wrestle it." Local police said that this snake had sunk its fangs into the guard's left arm and nearly severed it. Now, Robert did not give an exact reason for why he tried to catch the snake, but it was said that there were villagers who could not cross the road because of the snake. Varying reports say he was either trying to keep scared villagers safe or that he wanted to clear the road. An official then spoke out saying that these giant snakes were common in this area. There are at least 10 sightings of them a year. In the dry season, they come out looking for a drink. In the wet, they come out to take a bath in the rain. There are usually lots of mice in the palm oil plantations, and that's what they are hunting. Yeah, now I would just leave one of these snakes alone if I came face to face with it, not fight it. A giant snake skin found on a riverbank in the northeast United States has become a local legend in the town of Westbrook, Maine, known as Wessie. Now, sightings of the snake began in June 2016 when a woman filed a report with the Westbrook Police Department claiming to have seen a snake as large as a truck with a head the size of a basketball. Soon thereafter, a late shift police officer patrolling near the first sighting saw a large snake eating a mammal, possibly a beaver. And then on August 20th, a man walking along the river stumbled across the molted skin of a 12-foot long snake near the 2 other sightings. It said that the skin belongs to a female snake that's at least 10 to 12 years old based on the skin size. Now, the snake's genetic quirks also suggest that its ancestors were most likely from Peru or Bolivia, though the snake probably was bred in the United States. Jesus Rivas, a snake expert, said it would have to come from someone who either caught it or bought it somewhere, brought it here, and then decided to let it go for some reason. But given the snake's size and age, he suspects that its owners were dedicated, and he maintains instead that the snake got out of its enclosure. People who have a snake of this size are responsible keepers, and it's very unlikely that they don't have the awareness that the snake won't survive in the wild, he said. I doubt that it was released, more likely it escaped. Now, I would not want to run into that creature at the park. Now, there have been some real big snake sightings over the years. I mean, in 1959, Colonel Remy van Leerd of the Belgian Royal Air Force was on helicopter patrol when he spotted something interesting. He had flown in over 400 missions, and his eyes were trained to study the ground below, so he was really good at this kind of thing. But while he and his co-pilot were out that day, they saw a humongous snake, which Remy estimated to be over 50 feet in length. Now, according to experts, there's no scientific evidence that a 50-foot snake exists, but this wild story has people thinking it could have been the so-called extinct Titanoboa. Now, to help verify their story, Remy and his co-pilot took a single grainy photograph of the creature in question. Now, clearly, the image seems to depict what is undeniably a giant snake, looking massive in comparison to the nearby trees. Ivan Sanderson, a biologist and cryptozoology enthusiast, analyzed the document and came to the conclusion that the snake was not merely 50 feet long, but 200. Now, in his eyes, the dark shapes were certainly termite mounds, which could grow up to 26 feet tall and over 50 feet wide in that region. Regardless, it seems to be a giant snake that has no business being that big and terrifying. Now, some people think that the skeleton of a Titanoboa had been spotted on Google Earth. In a TikTok video that had 7.4 million views, it showed an image of this beast. This video was posted in March of 2022 by user at Google Maps Fun and is now under the heading Creepiest Things Google Maps Recorded. Hidden on Google Earth, users believe this to be a giant snake. It's about 30 meters long and bigger than any snake caught before, the voiceover says, as it shows a satellite image of the bones on a beach. Now, users quickly speculated that the skeleton could have belonged to a prehistoric snake called the Titanoboa, and I mean, the skeleton was just under 100 feet long, and the largest Titanoboa ever recorded was 47 feet. Regardless, this creature was huge, and hey, maybe this was the same snake that Remy and his co-pilot saw. Now, in 2009, a 100-foot snake was spotted lurking in a river in Borneo, sparking great concern among local communities. Yeah, no kidding. Now, the photograph used to corroborate this story shows a wiggly snake-like object as it rips through the river. An unnamed member of an unnamed disaster team monitoring flood regions on the Southeast Asian island allegedly captured the image while hovering over the river in a helicopter, and then they leaked it to the public. Now, it's not clear whether the photograph is genuine or just edited, but some suggest that the snake was in fact a log or a speedboat, while others complained the color of the river in the photo was too dark. However, on the banks of the river, villagers are convinced of the massive serpent's existence and have even given it a name, Nabu, after an ancient sea serpent which can transform itself into the shapes of different animals. Now, a second picture has also emerged, showing the beast from a different angle. This time though, the anonymous photographer appears to have set up his tripod on the riverbank and captures the terrifying serpent stretched across the width of the river. Now, that is honestly just terrifying. And finally, in 2022, unsettling footage of a giant snake slithering over a wall into what appears to be a porch entrance of a house went viral on Twitter. The snake making its way towards the window door of an unknown property was shared to Twitter alongside the caption, "Living near the jungle allows you to have the visit of sweet little animals." Yeah, sure, sweet and little. Ugh, I can't imagine sitting in the kitchen and just seeing that beast enter your home. Now, the origins of this video are so far unclear, but one Twitter user claimed that the motorcycle license plate indicated the location as being Central Java, Indonesia, but that is so far unconfirmed. Now, Indonesia is known for having these big snakes though, so it would make sense. Commenters though couldn't agree on what kind of snake it was, but they could all agree that it was terrifying, which I concur.